People now respect you because of the things that you did, and it's up to the church to make you a deacon. They will exalt you based on what they see and based on what they know to be true about you. You obtain a high position. Don't walk around trying to exalt yourself. Just work on being a good example before people and watch them exalt you to a position because they have respect for you. And when people exalt you to a position, they will give you permission to influence their life. If you exalt yourself to a position, you will have to work to influence them. But if they put you there, it's because they trust that you have information that they need that will help them in their life. But you have to give them a reason to respect you. You have to give them a reason to honor you. You have to give them a reason to admire you. Without a reason to honor, respect you, or admire you, you'll be in a position without respect, which is no position at all. You can't call yourself a leader if you don't have anybody to lead.
Amen.
For those who have served well as deacons obtain for themselves a high standing and a great confidence in the faith which is in Christ Jesus. Which means the more you work at living for Christ, the better you'll get at it.
Right.
And the better you get at living for Christ, the higher people will exalt you.
Amen.
Been in church all my life. And I've watched preachers stand in pulpits and say, y'all need to give more. Pastor need a raise. You ain't got to make those kind of statements when you just live for God and watch people exalt you.
Sure enough.
You don't have to fuss at people. If you do have to fuss at people, it's an indication that they don't respect you. Yell at people. Or to say the famous phrase, I'm the pastor. We know that. One wise man said once, if you got to tell somebody you're the pastor, you must not be doing that good of a job.
Amen.
You have to tell somebody you're a Christian, you must not be doing that good of a job. People ought to recognize it. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I was in my Saturday class some weeks ago, and Saturday class is all day, so y'all might want to stop by because it's always like food in there, like donuts, coffee, juice, and all this kind of stuff. And I went to go get me another cup of coffee. As I was walking back, an older lady grabbed me by my hand as I was passing by her table, and she said, "Are you a preacher?" I had on flip-flops, gym shorts, and a white t-shirt is what I had on. I was almost embarrassed to tell her that I was, so I said, "Who wants to know?" She said, "I can just tell her." I thought about that the rest of class. That nobody, I don't have to go around telling people who I am. People ought to just know. I don't have to go around trying to convince people. Just live for God. And watch the church take notice of that somebody I want to follow. And they will exalt you.
Amen.
Productive churches are churches with leaders who qualify to care for the needs of a Christian community. If a church is going to be productive, it starts with good leadership.
Amen.
An unproductive church has bad leadership. or at the very least, poor leadership. But we will not be a church who just puts people in leadership positions because we need somebody to fill the slot. We'll be a church who puts people in leadership positions because they qualify to be in the positions that we put them in, because we understand from the text that productive churches have productive, qualified leaders. I was watching a football game. I'm done with you now. I was watching a football game last night. I know I was supposed to be studying for this sermon presentation, but I was watching a football game. I know I was supposed to be doing exegesis and theology and homiletics and all that, but what I was doing, Paul, was I was sitting in my rocking chair watching a football game. I know I was supposed to be praying and getting ready to tell y'all something on Sunday morning, but what I was doing was watching a good football game. Eating some Starburst and sunflower seeds, making coffee, warmed up about 300, 400, 500 buns, just watching the football game. And after the game was over with and the team had won, the reporter ran up to one of the players who had a good game, and she said, "Nobody expected y'all to win this game. How were y'all able to pull off this victory?" The football player said something that pierced my theological intellect. He said, "We were able to win this game because of our leadership."
All right.
He said there was a point in the game when we didn't know what we was going to do. We didn't know if we were coming or going. We were just about to give up, but we went into the huddle, and instead of calling a play, the quarterback looked at us and said, "Everything is going to be all right." And because we trusted in him and had confidence that he could make something good out of a bad situation, we followed his leadership and we won the game. Productive churches who have good leaders will lead a church to victory. And a good leader is a person who's following Christ.
Amen.
This is what Paul means when he says, "Follow me as I follow Christ." And as long as you stay behind your leader who's following Christ, you'll have a productive church. Because leadership makes the difference.
Yeah.
Not numbers. Not whether there's people overflowing your sanctuary or people in your balcony. Good leadership is what makes the difference. God bless you. God bless you.